Hey guys, today I'm going to be playing some standard Magic at the Mythic rank, the highest rank in Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm going to be playing the Domain deck. This is a deck where some of the cards get more powerful depending on how many different types of basic lands we have. Here's the deck list here on the screen. You can also find it in the video description. As you can see, we get some lovely card draw here with Up the Beanstalk whenever we cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater. And this works really well with the Overlords, which we can cast for their impending cost, and some of our big spells like Herd Migration, Leyline Binding, Sunfall, Seized from Slumber. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe, and I'll also take requests in the comments for any other decks you'd like to see played at the Mythic rank. Now then, let's go and start game 1. Our opponent's name, Singialotto01. Now this is not a great starting hand at all. 3 Sunfalls, a single Pest Control, which we can't cast. Definitely a mulligan. This hand's looking much better. We've got the Pest Control, got to Get Lost. Herd Migration can help us find a land. Want to send the forest back here. We'll keep 6. Now we get the option for a Sunfall here, which is very expensive at 5 mana currently. So we'll get rid of this for the moment. Okay, 1 Hired Claw, which our Pest Control can deal with. Now, let's go up the Beanstalk. See if he plays some more 1-drops. Manifold Mouse. Okay, now this is a sorcery. It's only going to hit 1 creature unfortunately, but the damage from this thing does start to add up. Drop the Hedge Maze in. Hedge Maze. We'll keep that land. And then we'll just get rid of that lizard. Next turn we'll be able to play this Overlord for the impending cost and draw a card from Up the Beanstalk. Okay. So we carry on with this plan. Make this, draw a card, get some blockers, which we don't mind losing. We'll happily trade them away or just slow them down. We have the Sunfall to rely on to clear the board. Okay, so he's going to make his mouse bigger. He's just going to send those to it. Now we got the Sunfall to fall back on, so let's make him. We'll lose this guy, and he's probably going to cast a spell to make this bigger, but that's fine. We'll make him use a card from his hand. We're successfully trading, that's good. And another Manifold Mouse. Okay, clearly we just want to wipe the board here. We'll choose Avatar for this, which helps us cast these guys. Sorry, just this one. So, let's Sunfall, draw a card off this. Another land. Nice clean board. And now we can really get going. We've got 5 mana, we can start casting our big spells. We can either embed this in or just cast it for its full 5 mana. We'll very soon get the herd migration out. This Overlord's going to come in. 2 more turns. Okay, so we've got the Screaming Nemesis. We'll again play Avatar for this. Now we can bring these guys in, both for their impending cost. Draw a card. We really want to get rid of this. So this one's great, gives us an extra land, ramps us up, gives us more net attacks. We've got options here. We can bring this in, but we're still going to be facing this Screaming Nemesis, and we're on 10 life. So at the minute, pretty good to just get rid of it or get lost. So we'll pass the turn. Another Screaming Nemesis. Now we can only remove 1 because we only have 1 white source. Otherwise our Leyline Binding has now got its mana cost reduced by 5 from our 5 different lands. But oh, 3 Screaming Nemesis. Interesting. So I think here we are going to need to get rid of all 3 of these. We can Leyline Binding 1, which means we can herd migration as well. To bring our life total up a bit more, we're going to start having creatures come in from impending. So we don't really need the 3/3 beasts too much. So let's bring this in. Get a card draw. We'll take out one of these. We're going to take 6 damage. And then we're going to go find a basic land, gain 3 life, more importantly. Type land doesn't really matter, we've got enough colours here. So let's play another Up the Beanstalk. Now we're going to draw 2 cards every time we play a big creature. We've got a Get Lost that we can use to get rid of one of these. And we've got to bear in mind that when we damage these things, this can deal damage to any other target. So if we block it with a 5/3, 6/6, we're going to be taking 5 or 6 damage. So we clearly can't do that. And we want to leave 2 mana left for this. So we've currently got 3 mana spare, or 4 from here. So we can't cast this either. But we can bring it in for its impending cost, or this one for its impending cost. And we've got a choice of, do we want to draw extra cards, or do we want to get some flyers that can attack slightly quicker to try and base? I think we'll go with some extra cards because we need ways to deal with the Screaming Nemesis. We do get to draw 2 cards off of this, both of them lands. And these. Now this is a great card here for getting rid of his creatures. Let's get rid of these 2 lands here. 1 card. We'll get rid of the swamp so we can keep a Surveil land. And we've already played our land drop for the turn. Now we got our Overlord of the Mistmoors in play. A Hired Claw. Now he's going to attack with this by the looks of it by giving it haste, which means our split up is going to line up nicely for destroying all tapped creatures. And of course we can block this one without sending 6 points of damage to our head. Okay, he's going to pump that twice. It's going to deal 1 damage to us. Go to blockers. And then we shall get lost one of these. you get to give him a shot at a land, and he gets another shot at a land with this. Monastery Swiftspear. Okay, in the bin. Good. It's not even a card we are concerned with at this point. So, remember, we can only here destroy tapped or untapped, so we do not want to attack first because we will lose our Overlord. So we're going to cast this and destroy all tapped creatures. Make sure we click the right one. And then we can attack. And we want to bring this in. This is going to make us draw 2 cards. So let's first use our Surveil land. See what we got. We can get rid of that. And then we can draw 2 more cards, get another 2 flyers, and we've got a Leyline Binding, just for safety with 1 land left to cast it. Now we've got exactly 14 points here to attack with next turn, and we also have this incubator we can bring back. So he's brought a mouse in, he's probably just going to haste this little thing up. Thinks he's going to come in probably here to get the damage. He'll get a counter off this, and then he's going to attack thinking I have to block and kill it. So we're just going to disappoint him by Leyline Binding it. And he scoops. Game 1 victory. Let's queue up a second game. So hopefully that has demonstrated to you the power of the domain deck once you get your one of each basic land type. And what do we have here? We have Up the Beanstalk, which is nice to see in our opening hand. This 5 mana spell that gets reduced by 3 when it targets a tapped creature, which is really good for drawing a card off of this for only 2 mana. So we're going to keep this hand, and we're on the play as well. And we'll bring the Surveil land in for the first turn. A Herd Migration. We've already got 4 lands, 1 we've just played and another 3 in hand. So we don't want to use the second ability of this to get another land. We've got Up the Beanstalk, we're going to be drawing cards, we're going to draw more lands. 7 mana, a bit expensive at the minute, it's not going to really help us, so we'll lose that one. And here we can easily go Up the Beanstalk. We have a choice between playing these here because we might want to play the Zerd Eternal Schema, in which case we would need both blue and black, which would mean both of our caverns have to name either human or wizard, which is not ideal because I like to name avatar with these. So we're just going to drop the forest, go Up the Beanstalk. The forest, you have to be careful with some of these lands. They have a second mana ability where you need one of the land types to enable it. In this one, of course, it's the Surveil land, so we don't have that. So he's played a Llanowar Elves. Nothing we can do here to interact with that. We cannot play this East from Slumber yet unless he taps it. We have no other plays, so we play the Plains, pass the turn. Oh, now he's played an Overlord. He is also playing Overlords. Okay. Impending cost, which will give him 2 flying creatures. Now we have 2 Sunfalls to fall back on, so we can clear the board. We've got nothing currently lined up for next turn, so I'm going to use this, which feels like a slight waste on this Llanowar Elves, because I want to draw a card. Okay, we've got our own Overlord now. We can have an Overlord battle. Okay, the Get Lost does allow us to destroy his Overlord if we wish. We're going to go ahead, play Avatar Fear, bring in our Overlord, and we can just trade these guys with his. We get to draw a card though from ours. And we have the benefit here that his Overlord is going to come into play first, which means we get to sweep it with Sunfall before ours comes in. Okay, so Malira allows him to sacrifice it and bring one of his creatures back instead of dying this turn. Now currently he has nothing to use that on. He will be able to use it on his Overlord next turn if we were to Sunfall, but this only takes effect when the creature's put into a graveyard, whereas Sunfall is a exile, so we're safe to sweep the board on the next turn. We want to do it either next turn or the turn after. We want to try and sweep this Overlord at the same time, get the most value from our spell. So we can just bring this in now. Surveil, Leyline Binding, always good. Keep that on top. We don't want to attack, we want to use these guys to block. He's got a Collector's Cage here. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Which he now does have 3 different creatures of different powers. And he can activate that. Instead, he's just going to Impending here. Now, we have some choices here, because we are facing a lot of creatures now that are going to start attacking us. So our 2 blockers are not looking so hot. We did want to sweep this away with a Sunfall. Looks like that might not be an option. And we are facing a random card under here, but if we exile all the creatures, he won't be able to play that, depending on what that card is. So I think here we do get another turn before this becomes a problem. So let's just go to our turn. And of course we have the Leyline Binding as well. So we can Sunfall, but of course we want to attack first. Do we? If we attack, we're going to probably just trade, in which case we get a smaller creature from our Sunfall. So I think we can probably just go ahead and exile all the creatures now and see if something comes in from here. Okay, it's going to exile. It's going to sacrifice that to protect this, which of course doesn't work against the exile effect, as we've already discussed. And then let's bring in this, which turns on our Leyline Binding, or does not. We do not have the domain yet. That's an important thing to consider. Still, we're in no rush. You can't bring out the Hideaway from here. This is still coming in now, where we can then eliminate all these creatures again and draw some cards to boot. Draw a card of this, get another incubated creature. Again, looks like he's not gonna take the opportunity to use that. Bring in the Cavern. We can now activate this, start attacking. We got a nice sized creature there from not trading those other creatures off last turn. And there we go, another win. So that's 2 victorious games for us today. Hopefully that's given you a nice view into the functionings of the deck. And if you'd like to see more videos like this at the Mythic level, please subscribe, leave any comments on what decks you'd like to see. Thank you very much.